told you can make anything rhyme if you just put your mind to it. Been saying it for years. We are going to drive into Kawagoe. Kawagoe is a city outside of Tokyo in Saitama Prefecture. It is roughly 30-40 minutes out of Tokyo. The city is famous for its old town, for its old buildings, its old wooden buildings that are still left, that have been standing for, I don't know, a bit more than 100 years, maybe 150 years. And it's a tourist spot, but it's also, what is it called? A bed town? Is that what it's called? We don't have any script, we will just drive around, and if I have comments on anything that I see, then I will comment on that. It might be interesting for some of you who want to look beyond the tourist-only perspective, because I have been living here for the past 13 years on and off, and I might have a bit of a different perspective on kind of a few things here. It's so hot. Summer finally arrived. It's mid-July now, and it was 38 degrees today. More than the heat, the humidity is what's killing me. It's just moist. Ugh. I can barely get into my gloves because it's so sweaty. Ugh. Now, very important when you drive in Japan. On these railroad crossings, you need to stop. You need to make a full stop and then look left and right and then go. Oftentimes, police will hide behind a bush somewhere and try to give you a ticket for that. If you plan to come to Japan and drive here with a car or with a bike, it doesn't matter. Be careful of that. I think it becomes quite evident that most of the town is just residential space, but even though it is quite popular among tourists, there's just regular people living here for the most part. Oh nice, look at these lights. It has a flare, I can see that. And you can see how narrow the street is just because it's old. When the street was built, they didn't have cars in mind. You can tell that. Yeah, but there is no business going on. All the shops are closed already. That's what I thought. You know, if you come here on a weekend during that time, it will be packed with people. You will have a hard time driving, I suppose. But now it's just a few people walking. So yeah, during the day it's all the hustle and bustle here. Tourists getting their souvenirs. And also it's quite popular among Japanese tourists as well. Especially since it's like a day trip away from Tokyo. If you live in Tokyo or in this Saitama area, you can just come here very easily. Just walk around, get some street food maybe. Or you could get some traditional Japanese candy. There's a small area here that we'll drive into now that is famous for its shops selling traditional Japanese candy. And looking at this street and how empty it is, I suppose there will be nobody there and none of the shops will be open, so it might just be a very dark street. Just as I figured, there's nobody here. Wow. That's actually very interesting. I've only ever seen this street packed with people, and now it's just dark. There's almost no lights. Looks like 200 years ago. This might be nice for a picture. This building is called the Toki no Kane, which translates to the time bell. So it has a huge bell inside. I'm not sure what it actually exists for, but the building itself, I think, is like, don't let me lie, 200, 300 years old. But that's when it was initially built. The building that you see now is barely 130, 140 years old, maybe a bit older, I don't know, because it burned down, like most of the things in Japan that when you hear about old temples, a lot of them have burned down at least once and then have been rebuilt, but they still, give you the original date when the building was established for the first time. But yeah, and you can see, we just saw the Toki no Kane, the time bell tower, and just took a right turn, and it's completely residential now. Wow. Deserted. Let's have this guy go. So now you know, on a weekday during the night, coming to Kawagoe will not be good business for you if you're a tourist, because there's no people here, nothing is open. But this might be a good opportunity to talk about one specific trope that you hear about Japan quite a bit, which is that Japan is a country that combines tradition and modernism, and is unique in the way it does it. So we just saw all these old buildings, and now we're driving through, even though deserted during this time, to a shopping street with modern shops, modern buildings. And again, that trope is a combined tradition and modernism. And oftentimes what you will have in mind is maybe like a Nissan Skyline GTR parked in front of a shrine or a temple that's neatly illuminated. And that's cool and all. It's visually very appealing, and I like it. I like that there's a huge ass temple or shrine right next to a skyscraper in the middle of Tokyo. What I don't like that much is how it is commercialized and how it is constructed to be a unique feature of Japan, or a feature that is unique to Japan. Go to Europe and you will have a skyscraper next to a 500-year-old church. It's nothing unusual. And again, it doesn't take away from the beauty of it, and that's what I want to emphasize here. It doesn't mean that it's bad at all. It's just so overused, and it's that idea that construct to sell Japan to you, which is kind of annoying. It's getting a bit more packed here. Let's try not to run anybody over. But I've quadruple checked. I am allowed to drive here. I could drive here with a car too if I wanted to. I'm not sure if I wanted to though. Again, to emphasize one more time, I like the trope. I like the tradition versus modernism. I like the GTR in front of the shrine, just as I like the BMW M3 in front of church. So I like the trope in general. I just want to say it's not unique to Japan. Doesn't matter what anybody tells you. But it is a feature of Japan. This kind of driving is harsh on your left hand. You have to clutch in the whole time. I really like the city, and it would be a great place to live actually, because you have everything you want, everything you would need. You have here. But it gets so packed on the weekends, and I mean like really packed, like Shibuya packed. Maybe I can convince these people to make some space for me. If you enjoy this kind of no bullshit, unfiltered, unscripted, just driving through Japan, just giving a bit of a comment of somebody who's been here for a while, if you like that kind of content, I will upload more of these videos in the future, so just, you know, subscribe, hit the bell or whatever it is nowadays, and then you'll see whenever I upload anything new. Okay, thanks, bye.